my goodness. Well, this is Alexandra Kostakis.
Like Starkist.
I'm just going to change the name to Starkist because I love Alexandra. I love that. But
Thank you. What's in a name? Hey, claim your name. God's got a blessing in your name.
yeah, and I'm always messing names up, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's your own blessing, but you can call me anything. It's a blessing, right? And you have all the stuff. I mean, I could read this bio, but does she need any introduction at this point? You know, she is an amazing, I call her my Greek goddess. She's kind of like a little gypsy lady. I want to grow up to be like her one day.
I don't know if I could live up to that.
One day I'm gonna walk into the psychic fair with all my little things going on. Look, I already started wearing some rings. I got 3 rings on today just for you.
Thank you.
So anyway, she's beautiful.
Oh.
She's an intuitive.
I'm gonna claim that.
She brings lots from her history. And if you ever want to have a time with her, just to sit and talk about her journey coming to the United States, it brings tears to my eyes. Anyway, she's a beautiful lady. And today we get to hear her. So send her lots of love. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wasn't going to be here. This is the woman who made this possible. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable sometimes to do things. And it's uncomfortable for me to be here right now. And I love that discomfort because it is in the discomfort of life that we grow and touch one another and can feel that we are blessed. I'm not going to make this all about me. I'm going to make this all about you. I want you to raise your non-dominant hand to claim your blessing. The one that you go for things, raise your hand. Come on, claim your blessing. I don't care if you're holding a cup. I don't care if you're on Zoom. Raise your hand and claim your blessing. Grab it and take it to your heart. Know that you are blessed. You know how I know you're blessed? You know, God put you here, right?
Yeah.
God don't make no junk. God allowed you to have this journey in this body at this particular time in history. And today is a day of history. It's a day of discomfort. History has to be uncomfortable so that we learn from it. So now, even if you're ambidextrous, you know, we use both hands. I want you to take your non-dominant hand, the one that doesn't want to reach for anything, and I want that hand up here. Come on, raise it up. I'm going to teach you a little bit about something. Each one of these fingers represents an emotion that we feel on that hand, okay? Worry, fear, anger, grief, and reconciliation of all these things, sadness and stress. Keep that hand up. Don't put your hand down. You need to know that this hand that is having a difficult time is the hand that's going to help you in your life to feel the growth when you are uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable holding it up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Life is uncomfortable.
Yep.
And every single one of you here came from discomfort. Keep holding that hand up, even if you're on Zoom, because you want to have this experience. I want to claim that your experience is valid. My hand is uncomfortable up here. I've had an uncomfortable life. How many of you have been uncomfortable in the skin you're in?
Yes.
In the sex you're in?
Yes.
In the relationship you're in?
Yes.
in the strife of everyday life you're in.
Yes.
In grief.
Yeah.
In being rejected. In not belonging. In being subjected to oppression, injustice. Claim that discomfort. It's going to help you grow, and put it on your heart with your other hand, and claim it and love it. You deserve to be loved for that. Today is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
Yeah.
Most people don't know who he is. That's appalling to me. If you know who he is, then what I'm going to say is just minuscule. Anybody know? Shout it. Yes, ma'am.
Was a minister and a civil rights activist.
Minister and civil rights activist and leader. I am here because of him. My family is alive because of him. You are here because of his dream. He had a dream for us. He noted that one day the sons and daughters, the children of the slaves, the oppressed, and the slavers, the oppressors, would one day come together. One day come together and sit at a table of brotherhood.
Yeah.
That was the dream I was born into. That is the dream that you were born into. Each one of you comes from oppressors and the oppressed. And we have to be uncomfortable, because if we stay oppressors and oppressed, that's where we stay. We don't move from that. And he wanted his dream to move each and every one, not just in the beautiful country of America, but across the world. I'm not from America. Brothers and sisters, I will call you that because DNA says we are related, and don't you ever forget it. We are one. If you are a child of God, you are my brother and sister. If you are a we, a they, a she, a he, a it, I don't care. I claim you as my kin. I love the skin you're in. I stand here in a position of privilege because Jen gave me that opportunity. It's uncomfortable to speak about these things. I am an enigma. I shouldn't be here many times over. Nor my people. The place I come from oppressed us, jailed us, murdered us, eradicated us, especially ones like me. I came from a beautiful, dark father from another country. And I came from an extraordinary, red-headed fire of a medium mother from another country. And they met against all odds and created this against all odds. They gave opportunity for me to be here, my soul to have this body journey with you. I am not supposed to be here. I almost died at birth. All my brothers and sisters did. But I'm here. And they would have killed me and mine, because both my parents were mediums. And because we were in a communist country. And because I was Black. I know, look at me. I stand here with privilege because I look like some of you. And then I look like some of you other ones. And I sound like some of you. But when I go to New York, I don't. Jak rozmawiam po moim języku, to w ogóle nie wiecie, kto ja jestem. Ale ja jestem. I am. Dr. King's dream is what I saw as a young child, my family and I, trying to escape communism, trying to escape the prejudices against my skin. They used to call me Czarna Magia, black magic. And my mother said, yeah, baby. Tieste charanamagia. You are enchanted black magic. You are enchantment. And you will go on in life and you will claim the birthright of every man, woman, child, that they have the right to the magic that is in the kingdom of God. So when I say claim your name, claim your magic, my name is magic. It came from different religions, different backgrounds. In a country where I would have been eradicated, my name is Alexandra Teresa Kostakis. People tried to get rid of that name, and they tried to get rid of me. It took forever for me to get to this country, to get here, to live Dr. King's. By the way, you know how I learned about Dr. King? See, America doesn't know much about Dr. King, but let me tell you something. The rest of the world knows who Dr. King is, was, how he died, and what his dream was. And that's why we came to America. That's why I came to America, to live my dream, to live that dream in a nonviolent way. Because y'all, I can fight. This is crazy. You don't want this. And I know people who know people.
Whoa.
I know, baby. Like I said, I'm not from this country. And it took a lot to get here. It took a lot. My childhood ended the day I entered this country. We had to be quiet about leaving or we would have been disappeared overnight. That's what they do. Our neighbors were disappeared. So we weren't allowed to talk about trying to escape. And the only way that I could come to this country is my parents had to not claim belonging to a communist party. By rights, I'm a communist. I was born in a communist country. Hello. This is what a communist looks like. So when you think about the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Poles, the Czechs, the Slavs, and all those people, they'd be looking like me. They'd be wanting to get away to freedom. They are oppressed. They are not allowed to know the truth. You are not allowed to know the truth. To get to this country, we had to, by stealth, go through interrogation upon interrogation. Can you imagine a 5-year-old kid going through interrogation? A 5-year-old kid who talks to dead people. I did talk to dead people. A 5-year-old kid who can read your energies, who can see that your facade of what you're saying to me is not what you're thinking. Had to be very quiet and had to very quietly go through these interrogations. My family scried. You know what that is, some of you. If you don't, that's pouring, divining. My family scried, as did I. Again, nobody knew we were trying to leave. We poured wax through a key, as one does on a very special day on the 29th of November. And on that day, the whole country, even though they're Christian, celebrate by pagan things, because, you know, those pagan things are thousands of years old and they used to belong to how we talk to God. And it wasn't through TV. But I'm talking to you through TV and we're talking God. Yeah. So nothing is impossible, right? I poured out the United States of America, including Florida, not Canada, not Mexico. No, I poured out the United States of America. And the people at the party were like, oh my God, look, she pulled out America. Oh, she's got a dream nobody could really realize. My mother poured out a heart. She poured out a beautiful heart. This was the 29th of November. And after pouring out that heart and she picked it up, it broke. The heart broke. My father stood there. He didn't pour. He cried. My father cried. I did mention my mother and father are mediums, right? Did I mention they were trying to make sure that their smartest little kid kept their mouth shut and quiet and not told people things, you know, because it's very dangerous stuff. And I knew why that heart broke, but I couldn't really believe that. In a few days, We got visas quietly. 5 days before my departure to freedom. Freedom. We had to do it quickly, so we only packed small bag, one small bag each. 5 days. 5 days. My family was escaping oppression, racism, jailing, thought crime. The horribleness of the skin I'm in. I wasn't blonde hair and blue-eyed. And curly hair, not a thing. You wouldn't think there was racism in another country where it's generally light-colored people. Racism is everywhere, my brothers and sisters. 5 days before my departure to America with my mother and father, the very people who needed to escape that, they took away my father's visa. And my hands, 5 days later, were between the grates of a fence with spikes on it, touching my father. That was the last time I was ever going to see him again. My life was uncomfortable. Freedom had a price. My family. My mother lost the love of her life, the one who could validate her, who could protect. And I lost my family. It's bittersweet, freedom is. But they did that so that I could stand before you today and remind you, be uncomfortable. Validate yourself. Claim your blessing. Claim your name. You are somebody. You came from people. You came from slavers. You came from, oh, by the way, we do have a priest in our family. It's kind of interesting that I'm a medium because, you know, they usually kill people like me. So thank God I had a priest in the family, and that's another story you want to hear. I could tell you a few of them. Let me honor you, and thank you for honoring me today. Thank you, Dr. King. You gave my parents and me, by the way, we had to see information about him on the slide, because if anybody found out we were doing that, we'd be dead. Anyway, let my uncomfortable bring out your uncomfortable. Let your pain be your gain. The trials and tribulations through which you go foster the belief in, oh God, I got to read this because this man, he said it all, and I'm going to be, I just can't do him justice. My folks, there you go. This is important, and this is what I want to leave you with because it's not mine. He did win a Nobel Prize, by the way, or peace. He was the youngest guy, the youngest man. Civil rights, nonviolent peace movement, disobedience, civil disobedience to the oppressions of poverty, capitalism, racism, injustice. Here's what he said. To transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood, where we can all work, live, pray together in the way that we can honor the God that is in us. He was a holy man, much as you're holy, in spite of your indiscretions. God don't make junk. He wanted us to be free to stand up and be uncomfortable and make others feel uncomfortable when they make others uncomfortable. Because when we signed the Declaration of Independence, our forefathers, I didn't sign it. However, I did become a citizen of the United States. I chose that citizenship. Most of you were born to it. It is a beautiful thing to want to be in a land of promise that promises liberty and justice for all. And we live at a time where the laws that were put there of liberty and justice for all were cemented, recognized, and made people feel uncomfortable. Your laws of voting have been changed. Desegregation. I can eat with my Black brothers and sisters. and the Asians and the Latinos and the Laotians and the Vietnamese and whatever, because of how uncomfortable he made people in a peaceful way. Some of you are different. Celebrate your difference. It is your difference that makes you beautiful. It is your difference he fought for. It is your difference he died for. Because nobody wants to be uncomfortable with what their plan is. And if you don't fit the narrative of somebody's plan, if you stay comfortable, you don't grow. So I want to leave you just with one more thing. Jenny made it possible for me to pontificate. And, I can go on and on and on, and I'm not allowed to do that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take both of your hands, the uncomfortable one and the one that claims your blessings. Reach up and claim your blessings, children of God, children that are the promise, and make other people uncomfortable with your goodness and comfortable with your love. Yeah. Claim your blessings. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jenny, for this opportunity.
Wow. Okay, I did let her go over a little bit, but man, you can't stop that, can you?
That was powerful.
That was very, very, very powerful. And we heard a little bit about her story today, right? We are going to ask her back for a time to just sit and talk, because to open up to that kind of story, we're all here, we just know that it's okay. We don't know about the people who fought to get here. We just accept it as our own. So thank you for that beautiful lecture.